Hello everyone. I'm Leo from Susan's family. Today, I'm bringing you a vest suitable for beginners. The Retro Nostalgia series Mido vest. For this electronic tutorial, you can find more details on our website, en.sussudiy.com. The vest comes in 3 sizes. The making method is almost the same. Only the row and stitch counts differ slightly in certain sections. Its structure is very simple. It consists of the main piece and the edges. The main piece consists of one large piece, which is crocheted as one continuous section including the left front, the right front and the back piece. Therefore, there's no need to sew under the arm. The left and right sides refer to the actual left and right sides when worn. The basic crochet sequence is: crochet the main piece, sew the shoulders, crochet the edges, crochet the ties. The main piece is crocheted with the front and back pieces connected. Start by crocheting the underarm section without increasing or decreasing. Then crochet the back piece, the left front panel and the right front panel. After sewing the shoulders, crochet the edge for the left armhole, the edge for the right armhole. Then crochet the integrated edging for the collar, the front band, and the hem. Finally, crochet the ties. The main piece uses a variety of stitch techniques. The pattern will have corresponding markings. I won't go through each one individually. I will explain them step by step during the crocheting process. Now, please watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Here, I'll demonstrate the beginning chain and how to hold the thread and the hook. For convenience in watching, I will use cotton yarn for the demonstration. The colors are random. For specific yarn, color schemes, and hook sizes, refer to the detail page of our corresponding products and the paper diagram. Hold the thread. Pinch the yarn tail with your right hand, from front to back. Wrap the yarn tail around your left little finger once. Thread it between the index finger and the middle finger. Then pinch the yarn tail with your thumb and middle finger. Hold the crochet hook as if holding a pen. Pinch the handle of the hook with your right thumb and index finger. Rest the handle on your palm, with the hook tip pointing down, the curved tip of the hook facing you. Lightly place your middle finger on the crochet hook. When crocheting, this allows better control of the tension of the loops. To make it clear for everyone to see, I will not press the yarn with my middle finger while crocheting. Now let's start crocheting chain stitches. Position the yarn below. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Pinch the crossing point of the loop with your left thumb and middle finger. Put the hook on the left side of the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Draw the yarn through. If you're not familiar at first, you can make a slip knot and place it on the hook. Here I'll demonstrate how to make a slip knot. Pick up the yarn tail. Cross the yarn to form a loop. The yarn tail side should be underneath. Pull the yarn tail through the loop. Pull both the loop and the longer end of the yarn. Tighten the first loop. Place the remaining loop on the hook. Pull the yarn tail. Adjust the loop so it fits properly on the hook. Complete the starting chain. The starting knot doesn't count as one stitch. Gently tighten the knot. Continue wrapping the yarn counterclockwise. Draw the yarn through. Complete one chain stitch. Here is the first chain stitch. Using this method, work evenly to complete the required number of chain stitches. The right side of the chain stitch looks like a braid. One braid represents one stitch. A braid has two strands. One strand is called a half stitch. One chain stitch has two half stitches. The back side is a horizontal line, which is called the back side. One chain stitch contains two half stitches and one back ridge. On the last chain stitch, place a stitch marker. Look at the right side of the chain stitches. Put the stitch marker on the top half stitch. To make counting easier, you can mark the beginning chain stitches. For example, place a marker every 20 stitches. Using one thread or two threads is fine. Now let's work the first row of the underarm section. Crochet 3 chains as the beginning chain. This beginning chain counts as one double crochet. Its height is equivalent to the height of a double crochet. Place a stitch marker on the last chain stitch. Look at the right side of the chain stitches. Use the stitch marker to pick up the next two loops. One half stitch and the back ridge. Crochet one more chain. Then work one double crochet with the hook on the left. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Pick up the half stitch of the second marker. Wrap the yarn in the same way. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through both loops. Yarn over again. Pull the yarn through both loops. This complete one double crochet. Let's look here. The two loops that were picked up are the stitch of this double crochet. Next, crochet 2 chains. Skip 2 stitches. Work one single crochet here. Pick up the half stitch. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through both loops. This complete one single crochet. Let's look here. The 2 loops that were picked up are the stitch of this single crochet. Next, crochet 2 chains. Skip 2 stitches. Work a double crochet. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Insert into this half stitch. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through 2 loops. Yarn over again. Pull the yarn through 2 loops. Complete a double crochet. Work 2 chain stitches. In the same hole. Work another double crochet. Work 2 chain stitches. W. Skip 2 stitches. Work a single crochet. Let's take another look. Work 2 chain stitches. Skip 2 stitches. Work a double crochet. Work 2 chain stitches. In the same hole, work another double crochet. Work 2 chain stitches. Skip 2 stitches. Work a single crochet. This row follows this sequence. And that completes the first row. Next, we will work the second row of the underarm section. Work 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. Place a marker. Look at the right side of the chain. Use a stitch marker to mark this half stitch and the back ridge. Two strands. Work 1 chain stitch. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise. Then work a DC2 bobble. Yarn over. Pick up this chain stitch. Pick up all 3 loops of the chain stitch. Yarn over, pull the yarn through. Bring it up with a hook. You can adjust the size of the loop. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through 2 loops. Keep these 2 loops. This is an unclosed double crochet. Yarn over. Pick up the same chain stitch. Yarn over, pull the yarn through. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through 2 loops. Yarn over again, pull the yarn through 3 loops. Complete this DC2 bobble. We'll call this a bobble stitch. Chain 1. Next, crochet 1 bobble stitch. Start with 2 incomplete double crochets. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through 3 loops too. Complete this bobble stitch. Chain 1. Crochet 1 bobble stitch. Chain 1. Crochet 1 bobble stitch. Continue with this sequence. Let's look at this sequence again. Chain 1. Crochet 1 bobble stitch. Chain 1. Crochet 1 bobble stitch. Chain 1. Crochet 1 bobble stitch. According to the pattern, continue crocheting in this sequence to the end. Pick up this hole. Crochet 1 bobble stitch. Chain 1. Work the final double crochet. Pay attention to this double crochet. Yarn over. Look at the back side of the chain. Pick up these 2 strands of the second stitch marker. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through 2 loops. There are now 2 loops on the hook. Stop. Prepare to switch colors. Hold the yarn with the left hand. Press the yarn near these 2 loops. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through 2 loops. Complete the color change. We will call the starting yarn color 1. The yarn used for switching colors is called color 2. Pull the ends of color 1 and color 2. You can adjust the tension of the current stitch. If you're not familiar at first, you can also use a loose knot to switch colors. Make a loose knot. Adjust it to the right size. Place it on the hook. pull the yarn through these 2 loops. Complete the color change. At this point, the second row is done. Now let's move on to the third row of the underarm section. Make 1 chain as the beginning chain. 1 chain stitch is equivalent to the height of a single crochet. This beginning chain does not count as 1 stitch. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise. Insert the hook into the edge stitch. Here. Pick up the stitch of this double crochet. Make 1 single crochet. Pick up this stitch. Then make 1 single crochet. Make 1 chain. Pick the next stitch. Make 1 single crochet. One chain. 1 single crochet sequence. Crochet to the end. One chain. Insert into the last stitch. Make 1 single crochet. Then make 1 more single crochet at the end. For the last single crochet, look at the right side of these 3 beginning chains from the previous row. Pick up the 2 strands at the marker and crochet 1 single crochet. Now we have completed the 3rd row. Next, we will crochet the 4th row of the underarm section. Make 2 chains as turning chains. These 2 chains are the same height as a half double crochet. And these beginning chains count as 1 stitch. Turn the work. Make 1 chain. Yarn over. Insert into this stitch. Make 1 double crochet. Make 1 chain. Make 1 double crochet. Similarly, insert into this chain space. Continue with the sequence of 1 chain and 1 double crochet. Crochet to the end. Make 1 double crochet. Make 1 chain. Finish with 1 half double crochet. Pay attention to this half double crochet. Yarn over. Insert into the edge of the first single crochet stitch. These 2 strands. Yarn over, pull the yarn through. Keep these 3 loops. Prepare to switch colors. Hang color 1 yarn with your left hand. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through these 3 loops. Complete 1/2 double crochet, and at the same time, complete the color change. At this point, row 4 is done. For the underarm part of the main body, is crocheted in a repeat of rows 1, 2, 3, and 4. Switch colors every 2 rows. Refer to the end of row 2 and the end of row 4 for the method of changing yarn. Now start the 5th row for the underarm section. Work 3 chain stitches as beginning chains. Work 1 chain stitch. Insert into the half double crochet stitches from the previous row. Work 1 double crochet. Two chain stitches. Continue crocheting according to the pattern until you reach the armholes. Crochet to the required height. Begin to divide the piece into the back panel, the left front panel, and the right front panel. Count from the outside in. Mark the starting point of the left front panel. Count the same number of stitches from the outside in on the other side. Mark the starting point of the right front panel. Count inward from the starting point of the left chest piece and the starting point of the right chest piece. Mark the back panel. That concludes the division of the main piece. Next, we will crochet the left front panel. Now start with row 1. Crochet 3 beginning chains. And 1 slip stitch. Turn the work. In the same stitch, work 1 double crochet. Two chain stitches. Work 1 single crochet. Pick up the second hole. Work 1 single crochet. Follow the pattern and continue. At the ending of the first row of the left front panel, work 1 single crochet. 2 chain stitches. One double crochet. In the marked stitch, work double crochets. Complete the first row of the left front panel. Start the second row of the left front panel. Work 3 chain stitches as a beginning chain. Turn the work. In this hole, work 1 bobble stitch. Work 1 chain stitch. In the same hole, work 1 bobble stitch. Work 1 chain stitch. Work 1 bobble stitch. Refer to the pattern. Finish the first 3 rows. Now let's work the 4th row of the left front panel. Pay attention to the first stitch of the 4th row. This is a DC3 tog. Let's look at the specific crochet method. Work 2 chain stitches. Turn the work. Work 2 incomplete double crochets. The first incomplete stitch goes into this hole. The second incomplete stitch goes into this single crochet stitch. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through all 3 loops too. Complete the DC3 tog. Work 1 double crochet. One chain stitch. For the remainder of row 4, refer to the pattern. That concludes row 4 for the left front panel. After completing row 4, continue with row 5. The current row is row 5. First, crochet up to the DC2 tog at the end of row 5. Let's learn the crochet method for the DC2 tog. Yarn over. Work 2 incomplete double crochets. Insert the hook into the double crochet next to the stitch. Work the second incomplete double crochet. Insert the hook into the stitch where the previous DC3 tog was made. Work the second incomplete double crochet. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through all 3 loops too. Complete the DC2 tog. Follow the pattern. Continue crocheting all the way to the end of row 10. Now let's see how to handle the end of row 10. On the left front panel, work a double crochet. Make 2 chain stitches. 1 single crochet. Work a single crochet in the final stitch. Make another chain stitch. Leave about 5 centimeters of yarn tail. Cut the yarn. Pull the yarn through. Gently pull to tighten. Hide the yarn tail. For the small size, complete row 10 of the left front panel. Start dividing the neckline. For different sizes, the row count before dividing the neckline varies. Refer to the paper instructions for specifics. Use a stitch marker. Mark the starting position of the first row of the left front panel neckline. That concludes row 10 of the left front panel. Now crochet the first row of the left front panel neckline. Use color 2 at this point. Cut it off. Make a slip knot. Insert the hook into the hole marked. Pull through the loop of the slip knot. Gently pull to tighten. For starting new yarn in other parts of the fabric piece, you can use this method. Crochet 2 chain stitches. Crochet 1 single crochet in this hole. Crochet 1 single crochet. Crochet 1 chain stitch. Continue following the pattern until the last 3 rows remain. The final 3 rows are for the shoulder slope. Let's take a look at how to crochet the shoulder slope of the left front panel. The last stitch of the 4th row from the end. Work a double crochet. The starting point of the 3rd row from the end is offset, and there is no color change, so you need to carry the yarn across. Let's see how to carry the yarn. Enlarge the loop on the hook. Thread the yarn ball through the loop. Gently pull to tighten. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise. Carry the yarn to the starting position of the next row. Complete the carrying of the yarn. The chain stitch for carrying the yarn does not count in the stitch count. In the 3rd row from the end, work 2 chain stitches. 1 bobble stitch. Continue crocheting according to the pattern until before the half double crochets in the last row. Let's see how to work a half double crochet. Yarn over. Insert the hook into the hole below. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through all 3 loops. Complete 1 half double crochet. Continue crocheting according to the pattern. The last stitch is a double crochet. Work this double crochet. 1 chain stitch. Cut the yarn. Pull the yarn through. Gently pull to tighten. Hide the yarn tail. Make sure it doesn't show easily. Cut the other yarn as well. And hide it. Now we have finished the left front panel. After finishing the left front panel, start on the back panel. Let's begin with the first row under the neckline for the back panel. Pay attention to work on the wrong side of the back panel. Start with a slip knot. Insert the hook at the marked position. Pull through the slip knot loop. Work 3 chain stitches. Place a marker. Look at the right side of the chain stitches. Place the stitch marker around this half stitch and the back ridge. Work 2 chain stitches. Pick up this stitch. Work 1 single crochet. Two chain stitches. 1 double crochet. Follow the pattern until the new stitch in row 2. The last stitch in row 2 is a cluster of DC2 bobble and 1 double crochet. Let's look at the specific crochet method. Work 2 incomplete double crochets in this stitch. Pick up these 2 strands at the marker. Work an incomplete double crochet. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through all 4 loops. Complete the cluster of DC2 bobble and 1 double crochet. Handle it with the carrying yarn technique. That completes the second row of the neckline for the back panel. Follow the pattern until the new stitch, at the end of row 4. This is a DC3 tog. Let's look at the specific crochet method. Work 3 incomplete double crochets. Pick up the stitch of a single crochet. And work an incomplete double crochet. Pick up the chain stitch. Work 2 incomplete double crochets. Pick up the stitch of a single crochet. Work 3 incomplete double crochets. Attach color 1. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through all 4 loops 2. Complete the DC3 tog. The 4th row of the neckline for the back panel is now finished. According to the pattern, continue crocheting until you divide for the back neck. This is the left side of the back neck. According to the pattern, mark it. Now we will crochet the left side of the back neck. The first row of the left side of the back neck. Look at the wrong side of the piece. Crochet until the last new stitch. The last stitch is a slip stitch. Pick up the stitch with the stitch marker, yarn over and pull through. Pull the yarn through the loops on the hook. Complete this slip stitch. Carry the yarn. The first row of the left side of the back neck is now finished. Continue crocheting according to the pattern until you have the last 3 rows of the shoulder slope remaining. Next, we'll learn the left shoulder slope of the back panel. The left shoulder slope of the back panel. There are a total of 3 rows. Pay attention to the last stitch of the 3rd to last row. It's a cluster stitch combining bobble stitches and double crochets. Also, pay attention to the beginning of the 2nd to last row. You need to join yarn and switch colors. After completing all the rows, cut off the yarn. Right side of the back neck is symmetrical to the left side of the back neck. No new methods or stitches are used. The crochet method for the right shoulder slope of the back piece is the same as that for the left front piece. Refer to the pattern and video to crochet this part. That concludes the back piece shoulder slopes. At the same time, the neck division of the back piece is also finished. Next, we will discuss the right front panel. After crocheting the back panel, start crocheting the right front panel. The crochet method for the right front panel has no special stitch. Remember to join and switch colors and the decreases in the corresponding areas. That's all you need to do. The decrease method for the armhole curve on the right front panel is the same as the left armhole on the back panel. The crochet method for the right front panel shoulder slope is the same as the method for the left shoulder slope on the back panel. Follow the paper instructions and the video tutorial to complete the right front panel. Up to this point, the right front panel is now covered. Now we start sewing. The sewing for this vest cardigan has only two areas. On the left and right shoulders. This is the starting position for the first row of chain stitches. On the right side. The side currently facing us is the front as shown in the pattern, which is also the end. It is also the front when worn. Fold the fabric piece in half, with right sides facing each other. Sew the shoulders while working on the wrong side of the piece. We will demonstrate with a sample. You can start sewing from the lower side of the shoulder. Make a slip knot. The crochet hook goes through the two outermost hole. Pick up the slip knot loop. Gently pull to tighten. Work 3 chains. One single crochet. Three chains. One single crochet. Use chain stitches and single crochets to sew the shoulder together. As long as you sew tightly, it will be flat. The tension should be just right, and that's it. Chain 1. Cut the yarn. Pull the yarn through. Let's check the stretch. This is the stretch of the fabric piece. This is where the shoulder seam is, which also has some stretch. The other side of the shoulder slope. Sew the other side in the same way. That concludes the sewing. Now we will start with the edging. After sewing the shoulders, begin crocheting the edging. The edging includes the left armhole edging, the right armhole edging, and the integrated edging for the collar, front band, and hem. According to the pattern, mark the starting position for all the edging. Now we will crochet the edging for the left armhole. We will demonstrate using a sample. Look at the right side of the fabric piece. Start crocheting. The sleeve edging has 3 rows. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. For specific colors, refer to the pattern. Now we will crochet the first round for the left armhole edging. Make a slip knot. Insert the hook through the marked hole. Pull through the slip knot. Work 3 chains as the beginning chain. Place the stitch marker around the last 2 strands of the chain. One chain. Pick up this stitch. Work 1 double crochet. One chain. Pick up the next chain stitch below. Work 1 double crochet. It's important to note that the entry point for the double crochet is changing. Sometimes it's picking up the chain stitch. Sometimes it's picking up the stitch of the double crochet. Make sure to follow the pattern. When you reach the armhole curve, insert the hook into the hole to crochet. Yarn over. Insert the hook into the hole. Work a double crochet. Work a chain. Insert the hook into the hole. Work a double crochet. The position indicated by the double crochet stitch in the pattern is where you insert the hook. Pay attention to the pattern. When you reach the shoulder seam, pay attention to the stitch holes. Pay attention to the stitch holes. Work a double crochet. When working the double crochet, you can wrap the yarn around the back threads while crocheting. Follow the pattern to the last slip stitch. Hold color 2 in your left hand. Pick up the 2 marked threads. Wrap the yarn. Pull through directly. Complete the slip stitch. At the beginning, it may not be smooth. You can also cut the yarn and use a slip knot to start over. The first round of the left armhole edge is now complete. Next, we will work the second round of the left armhole edge. Chain 3 as the beginning chain. Make a marker. Place the stitch marker on the 2 threads of the last chain. Chain 2. Insert the hook into the same stitch. Work a double crochet. Chain 2. Single crochet in the next chain below. Chain 2. Work according to the pattern until the end. For the end of the second round, pick up the 2 threads of the stitch marker. Make a slip stitch to pull through. The second round of the left armhole edge is now complete. Next, we will work the third round of the left armhole edge. Chain 3 as the beginning chain. Mark it. Place the stitch marker around the last 2 threads of the chain. In this space, work 6 double crochets. Work 1 single crochet in this single crochet stitch. Work according to the pattern until the end. Make a slip stitch for the final stitch of the left armhole edge. Pick up the 2 threads of the stitch marker. Make a slip stitch to pull through. Cut the yarn. Gently pull tight. Then hide the yarn tail. For the edge of the right armhole, the treatment is the same as the left armhole edge. Follow the pattern and video to complete the right armhole edge. That completes the armhole edge. Now let's start on the collar. The integrated edging for the front band and hem. Start from this corner of the right front piece. Look at the right side of the fabric piece. Work upward. For this integrated edging, crochet 3 rows for the collar and front band. Crochet 2 rows for the hem. Note to the pattern. Now we start the first row of the integrated edging. Make a slip knot to start. Insert the hook into this hole. Pull the slip knot loop through. Chain 3 as the turning chain. Place a marker. Put the stitch marker around the last chain's 2 strands. Chain 1. Work a double crochet in this hole. Chain 1. Work a double crochet in this hole. Continue crocheting according to the pattern. When you reach the shoulder seam line, it's important to note that the first row of the integrated edging at the shoulder seam line. You don't need to pick up and work a double crochet here. It's different from the first row of the armhole edging. For the first row of the armhole edging, pick up and work a double crochet at the shoulder seam line, but for the integrated edging, you don't need to. Instead, start from the next hole. Pick up and work a double crochet. Continue crocheting according to the pattern. The last stitch of this row. Insert your hook into this stitch. Viewing the back of the chain stitch. And from the stitch marked by the stitch marker, pick up these 2 strands. To crochet 1 double crochet. Chain 1. Cut the yarn. That completes the first row of the integrated edging. Next, we will start the second round of the integrated edging. Go back to the beginning of the first row. Use color 2. Start with a slip knot. Pick up these 2 strands with the stitch marker. Pull the loop through. Chain 3 as the beginning chain. Mark it. Place the stitch marker around these 2 strands of the last chain. Chain 2. In the same stitch, work 1 double crochet. Chain 2. Pick up this chain. Work 1 single crochet. Chain 2. According to the pattern, crochet to the end. Chain 2. At the corner of the other side hem. It's important to note that the details may vary depending on the different sizes. Please refer to the paper instructions. I'll use the method for the small size as an example. From the marked hole, work 1 single crochet. Chain 5. Work 1 single crochet here. Crochet to the end according to the pattern. At the end of the second round, in the hole where the first row started, work 1 single crochet. Chain 2. Pick up the 2 strands next to the stitch marker. Make a slip stitch and pull through. The second round of the integrated edging is complete. Now we will start the third round of the integrated edging. Chain 3 as the turning chain. Mark it. Pick up the 2 strands from the last chain. Work 6 double crochets. In this hole. Pick up this stitch. Work 1 single crochet. Continue crocheting according to the pattern. When you reach the corner of the hem on the other side, start crocheting the small flower on the hem. For different sizes, the details at the corner are different. Please refer to the paper instructions. We will still use the method for the smaller size as an example. Let's see how to crochet this small flower. Pick up the chain here. Work 1 single crochet. Next, work 1 bobble stitch. Make 3 chains as the beginning chain. Pick up the 2 strands of the single crochet. Work 3 incomplete double crochets. Yarn over, pull the yarn through all 4 loops. Complete the bobble stitch. Next, work in the circle of the small flower. Work 4 chains. At this point, be sure to loosen the loops on the hook. Thread the hook through the 4 loops of the bobble stitch. Hook the loop that was just released. Pull this loop through. Form a chain ring. Then move the yarn to the back. Start working the second bobble stitch. Work 3 chains as the beginning chain. Work 2 incomplete double crochets. Yarn over. Insert the hook into the chain ring. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through all 3 loops on the hook. Work 3 chains. Pick up the chain ring. Work 1 slip stitch. Complete 1 bobble stitch. Next, work 2 bobble stitches. Work 1 bobble stitch. Complete a small flower. The method for the small flower is now finished. Work 1 single crochet. Work 5 chains. Work 1 single crochet. Work 1 small flower. Crochet according to the pattern to the end. On the end of the third round, work 1 single crochet. The final stitch is a slip stitch. Pick up the 2 threads of the marker. Yarn over, slip the loop through. Chain 1 more. Cut the yarn. Let's emphasize again the entry point for the first bobble stitch of the small flower. Pick up the 2 threads of the single crochet below to crochet. On this corner, the handling may differ for various sizes. Please refer to the paper instructions. We've finished the third round of the integrated edging, and that completes the integrated edging. Next, we start crocheting the ties. There are 4 ties. 2 on the left front piece and 2 on the right front piece. The colors for the ties, please refer to the paper instructions. To connect the ties, make a mark. For the top tie, at the corner in this hole, place a stitch marker. The position of the bottom tie is located at the center of the 6th fan shape. Counting down from the top. In the lower hole. Place a stitch marker. You can also adjust the position of the ties according to your own needs. Crochet the required number of chain stitches according to the pattern. Look at the right side of the garment. Thread the crochet hook from bottom to top through the eyelet with the marker. Make 1 slip stitch. Gently pull tight. Remove the stitch marker from the tie position. Place it on the half stitch of the slip stitch. Crochet 2 chain stitches. Yarn over. Pick up the half stitch of the stitch marker. Work a DC 2 in 1. From the next chain stitch, where you just inserted, count up 4 chain stitches here. At the 4th chain stitch, pick up the half stitch on the front of the chain stitch. Make 1 slip stitch. Crochet 2 chain stitches. Work a DC 2 in 1. Make 1 slip stitch. Follow the pattern and crochet to the end. This is the final slip stitch. After completing, crochet 1 chain stitch. Cut the yarn. On the wrong side, hide the tail. In the same way, crochet the remaining 3 ties. That concludes the ties. Up to this point, the entire process of making the vest has been fully explained. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website, Susan's Family. Supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.